I think one of the biggest challenges we're facing as a society and in the workforce is a lack of real, true connection. Like, if you look around us, if you talk about this with others, you can tell that people are just craving connection. And especially with the pandemic and all these shifts that have happened. And what we're seeing is that even though maybe we're more connected to our phones, our screens than ever before, there's a really big difference between being superficially connected with someone versus truly connecting with someone. And I want, at the end of this video, what I want to encourage you to do is to take responsibility for connecting with others. And here's an example. I definitely value connection. I love having deeper conversations with people, as I'm sure you do as well. And something that my husband had pointed out to me was that sometimes when we were out with maybe some of his friends, people that were not the usual people I hung out with, that I would go from being really engaged in the beginning to totally checking out by the end of the conversation or whatnot. And he would be like, why are you checking out like that? Like, it's kind of rude. And my response would be in these situations, well, I'm bored. I would say that I'm bored. People are being surface level, or they're not really this doesn't really interest me, so I check out. And while that there may have been some truth to that, what I was doing, what I realized was that I was allowing myself to be a victim to the situation and being like a little bit of a brat, in the sense that I wasn't really to take responsibility to say, okay, I'm not feeling connected right now. How can I dial in? How can I connect? And how am I contributing to this? Because checking out of the conversation, that's not going to do much for me or for the other people involved. I share this story because maybe you're not feeling as connected as you want to be. And sometimes maybe we blame others. And sometimes, right, there are people in our life that they might be the ones with the problem that are getting in the way with connecting. But the reality is that there are so many people in this world, and there's probably so many people in your network that when you sit down to really think of it, they'll come to mind, and you'll think of new people to connect with. So thinking about how can you deepen connection with others in your life. Maybe instead of texting, giving someone a call once a week that you typically wouldn't call. Sending a handwritten note to someone just to let them know that you're thinking of them, or maybe they're going through a hard time, and sending them that card to let them know that you're there from them and that it's going to be okay. Taking initiative to build community. Figure out different places that you can go, groups that you can be a part of. I know it's uncomfortable, especially when you don't know anyone. I know I showed up this year, I joined a Bible study where I only knew one person. And even though I'm a pretty outgoing person, I showed up that day feeling nervous, like it's the first day of school. I don't know these women. How are they going to be? But I'm so glad I joined, because I've made so many wonderful connections with these women, even though it's tough when you show up on that first day and not really feeling like you know anyone. So I encourage you to be the change you want to see. Connect, and know that by spending time with relationships, you're not going to be neglecting your results. Sometimes we tell ourselves that we don't have time for these frivolous types of things. But know that, as they say, your network is your net worth, and relationships are the key to your success as a leader.